Imagine this: a person sitting in their living room, suddenly engulfed in flames. The scene is peaceful, the fireplace crackles softly, and then, without warning, a burst of fire consumes them. There's no obvious source of ignition, no logical explanation. The room remains untouched. No signs of a struggle or an external fire source. This, my friends, is the baffling phenomenon known as spontaneous human combustion, SHC. It's a term that sends shivers down the spine and ignites curiosity. SHC is the alleged process by which a human body bursts into flames, seemingly without an external heat source. The body burns intensely, often leaving surrounding objects untouched. It's a topic that has sparked fear, fascination, and debate for centuries. From ancient texts to modern-day reports, SHC has been a subject of intrigue. Is it a real phenomenon, or just a product of folklore and overactive imaginations? The debate rages on, with skeptics and believers clashing over the evidence. Let's dive in and explore the fiery mystery of SHC. We'll look at historical cases, scientific theories, and the cultural impact of this phenomenon. The idea of a human body spontaneously combusting seems like something out of a science fiction novel. Yet, the accounts are numerous and often eerily similar. However, there have been numerous reported cases throughout history, each adding fuel to the fire of this intriguing mystery. From the 18th century to the present day, SHC continues to baffle and bewilder. While the scientific community remains largely skeptical, the lack of a definitive explanation keeps the debate alive. Researchers have proposed various theories, but none have been universally accepted. Join me as we examine the evidence, explore the theories, and delve into the stories that have kept this mystery burning bright. Together, we'll try to unravel the truth behind this fiery enigma, separating fact from fiction, and uncovering the secrets of spontaneous human combustion. Reports of SHC date back centuries, with numerous accounts documented in various historical texts and manuscripts. These reports are often shrouded in mystery and speculation, adding to the eerie allure of the phenomenon. One of the earliest documented cases occurred in 1663, involving a Frenchman named Jonas Dupont. Dupont's case is particularly notable due to the detailed records that survived. Dupont, a heavy drinker, was found reduced to ashes on his straw bed, leaving behind only his head and bones. The scene was both horrifying and perplexing. The straw bed surprisingly remained largely untouched by the flames, which defied logical explanation and baffled investigators of the time. This case, like many others throughout history, fueled the belief that SHC was a real and terrifying phenomenon. It sparked debates and theories that continue to this day. Another well-known case involves Mary Reeser, a 67-year-old widow from St. Petersburg, Florida. Her story is one of the most frequently cited examples of SHC. In 1951, Mrs. Reeser was found almost entirely incinerated in her apartment, with only her left foot and a portion of her spine remaining. The discovery was both shocking and inexplicable. The heat from the fire was so intense that it melted metal objects in the room, yet the rest of the apartment sustained minimal damage. This selective burning added to the mystery. The bizarre circumstances surrounding Mrs. Reeser's death remain a subject of debate to this day. Experts and enthusiasts alike continue to ponder the enigma of SHC, seeking answers to this chilling mystery. Despite the numerous anecdotal accounts, the scientific community remains largely unconvinced about the existence of SHC. Critics often point out that many alleged SHC cases involve external sources of ignition, such as cigarettes, candles, or fireplaces. They argue that victims may have accidentally set themselves on fire, and the lack of significant damage to their surroundings can be attributed to a phenomenon known as the wick effect. The wick effect suggests that a human body can act like an inside-out candle. Clothing acts as the wick, while body fat serves as the fuel source. This slow-burning fire can generate enough heat to incinerate a body while leaving the surrounding area relatively undamaged. While the wick effect offers a plausible explanation for some SHC cases, it doesn't account for all of them. Skeptics argue that the lack of consistent and reliable evidence makes it difficult to study SHC scientifically. Many reported cases rely on anecdotal evidence, often embellished or distorted over time. Additionally, the absence of witnesses and the severe damage to the victims' bodies make it challenging to determine the exact cause of death. Without concrete evidence, SHC remains in the realm of speculation and pseudoscience. Furthermore, the laws of physics dictate that a fire requires three elements: fuel, oxygen, and heat. While the human body can provide fuel in the form of fat and tissues, and oxygen is readily available in the air, a significant amount of heat is still needed to ignite and sustain a fire. Skeptics argue that there's no known internal mechanism within the human body capable of generating such intense heat without an external source. Despite the skepticism, some experts believe that spontaneous human combustion, or SHC, warrants further investigation. Dr. John Emsley, a British chemist, proposed that a buildup of acetone in the body could potentially lead to spontaneous combustion. Acetone, a highly flammable liquid, is produced by the body during the breakdown of fat. However, this theory has been largely dismissed due to the lack of scientific evidence supporting the possibility of acetone reaching flammable levels within the human body. Dr. Matthew Partle, a forensic pathologist, suggests that a phenomenon known as static electricity could play a role in some SHC cases. According to Dr. Partle, certain fabrics and materials can generate static electricity, which under specific conditions could potentially ignite flammable materials nearby. However, this theory also lacks concrete evidence and remains highly speculative. Section 6. The Wick Effect. A plausible explanation? The Wick effect, as mentioned earlier, is often cited as a plausible explanation for some spontaneous human combustion cases. When a body is engulfed in flames, the heat causes body fat to melt and soak into clothing. The clothing then acts as a wick, drawing the melted fat upward and fueling the fire. This slow-burning process can continue for hours, consuming the body while leaving the surrounding area relatively unscathed. The wick effect has been demonstrated in laboratory settings, lending credence to its plausibility. However, critics argue that the wick effect alone cannot explain the intensity of heat observed in some spontaneous human combustion cases, where bones are completely incinerated and metal objects are melted. They believe that additional factors must be at play. Section 7. Beyond the wick. Other scientific theories. Some scientists propose that a rare medical condition known as ketoacidosis could potentially contribute to spontaneous human combustion. Ketoacidosis occurs when the body produces high levels of ketones, acidic chemicals that can build up in the blood. Ketones are flammable, but there's no scientific evidence to suggest that they can accumulate to dangerous levels within the human body. Another theory suggests that a sudden release of methane gas from the digestive system could ignite, causing a brief but intense burst of flames. However, this theory is also considered unlikely, as the human digestive system does not produce enough methane to create such an explosion. Assessing the evidence. So, where does this leave us in our quest to understand spontaneous human combustion? This phenomenon has puzzled scientists and laypeople alike for centuries. The truth is, there's no easy answer. Theories range from the plausible to the outlandish, but none have been definitively proven. While the scientific community remains largely skeptical, the topic continues to intrigue and baffle. The lack of a definitive explanation keeps the debate alive. People continue to discuss and theorize, hoping to uncover the truth. The evidence for spontaneous human combustion is largely anecdotal, often based on eyewitness accounts that are prone to errors and embellishments. These stories, while compelling, lack the scientific rigor needed to be considered conclusive proof. Scientific investigations have failed to provide conclusive proof, and many proposed theories lack empirical support. Despite numerous experiments and studies, the scientific community has yet to find a definitive answer. However, the absence of proof is not proof of absence. Just because we haven't found evidence doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The human body is a complex and not fully understood organism. There are many mysteries yet to be unraveled. It's possible that there are unknown mechanisms or conditions that could contribute to spontaneous human combustion. We must keep an open mind. Until we have a more complete understanding of the human body and the factors that can influence its combustion, the mystery of spontaneous human combustion will likely endure. The quest for answers continues, and perhaps one day we will uncover the truth behind this enigmatic phenomenon. Section 9. The burning question remains: spontaneous human combustion, an enduring enigma. Spontaneous human combustion remains one of the most baffling mysteries of our time. While scientific explanations like the wick effect and natural gas leaks can account for some cases, others continue to defy explanation. The lack of concrete evidence and the reliance on anecdotal accounts make it difficult to draw definitive conclusions. Perhaps one day, with advancements in science and technology, we'll be able to unravel the secrets behind this fiery phenomenon. Until then, spontaneous human combustion will continue to spark our curiosity, ignite our imaginations, and remind us that some mysteries may never be fully extinguished.